Hi everybody, it's me, Trader Max from the Shogun Crypto, and in this series of the Anvil MVM, which stands for Market Volume Maker Bot, we're going to be talking about our version of 2.5. Now we're going to kind of go through all the motions of it in this intro video, and then we'll sort of break some of it up later in more extendable parts. But let's get started. Okay, now let's get started. We're going to be talking about the Anvil MVM, of course, and this market volume maker system that we've created here is a coin phrase by us. And why we called it this, and let me give you just an understanding here real quick. Market making, volume control, all this kind of stuff. The volume bot itself, of any volume bot that's out there, some of the originals, Orbit, Fatality, those kind of things, they made it look like there was a lot of volume, right? Like with the other wallets that were there, that made it look like there was a bunch of holders and it was penny trades and there's all this stuff. It was to trick the actual systems out there, like the DEXs and the SEXs that were out there, to look like there was a whole bunch of people. So you would run there, but those days are gone. These networks, these DEXs, they're all smart to that. And traders know so much what to look for, what not look for. What we're going to show you here in this system over a few videos is how to use this system, not just as a volume system, but as a market making system, how to control your chart. Because most of those volumes out there, those systems that are out there, they use what they refer to as a bundled system, which means they do a buy, they do a buy, and they do a sell, a 2-to-1. That's what most of all of them do. There's nobody else that has a ratio trading system like we have. When they do this 2-to-1, it does 2 buys and then 1 sell that equals the amount of the 2 buys. So it looks randomized, but it's not, okay? Because it doesn't actually move the market cap at all, because it just eats itself, and it does it in 1 trade, right? Even though that looks like 3, that's called bundling, and it bundles those three trades together, and it's gone. It doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. The only thing that changes is the amount that's on the volume. And now what happens? Most people think, well, that's going to make people think like there's all this volume coming on. That's going to make it like if all these wallets are doing it, it's going to look like holders. But it's all fake. In our system, nothing is fake. It's all real. It does move the market because it's making trades on interval times. And when it makes those trades, those are real trades that are happening to your chart. Now, what happens? How does it come back? Well, there's different ways that we build the bag, and we use SOL, and then we sell it off at certain times. So there's movement up and down on the chart. I want you to keep that in mind. This is about moving the chart around where you need it to be. Sometimes it's into a windfall, sometimes it's into a de-escalation, but the system will actually work its way around in multiple different ways. That's sometimes SOL is going up. There's a lot of different variables, but I'm not here to bore you right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what the bot looks like inside and talk about some of the key features and why that they've been implemented the way they are. Okay, so first, let's look at the ease of use. We're going to jump right over. It is a volume system that's in Telegram, a market making system that is Telegram, and it is set right here, as you see. Super easy to get attached to. You know how to use Telegram. If you're in cryptocurrency and you don't know what Telegram is, we got some problems, right? So let's just jump straight in. We're going to come to the token setting. We want to set the token. Now, what does that mean? That's the coin you're going to be trading on. So where do we go for that? Where are we going to go? We're going to go right here. We're going to pull up the chart, and we're going to grab our little CA, our coin address, and we're going to come back in here, and we're going to paste it right in there just like that. Okay? And this is going to tell us that it's been successfully added. Okay? So now we have our token address set to Shogun, and we have it set. Okay? I'm going to go back. I'm going to hit start. Now that we have the token we're going to be trading on, we want to make sure that we do an open wallet. So we're going to click open. And what this is going to do is it's going to open up a brand new wallet for us. If I click on that wallet, you'll see that I have 3 choices. I can delete the wallet. Now, before you delete a wallet ever, you always want to make sure that you check the balance to make sure that there's nothing in it. We're going to click that. It's going to think for a second. And it's going to give an answer. Okay, if I click open wallet again, and I click there again, and you'll see I can also withdraw funds. Now, in future videos, we're going to show you how to withdraw the funds. We're not going to be at this time giving you keys to the wallet like we normally would, because we wanted to make sure that all security protocols are answered at this point before we introduce that next phase of it. But for now, you can end up withdrawing your funds immediately to a wallet that you choose that only you have the keys to. All right. So we're also going to click on this little link, which says that it's copied it to the text. Why? Because I now want to go over and put money into it. Okay. Go to wallet, click on it, go to balance. There it is. 0.7. It took a second. I know. I see the transfer that's happening on my side. You know, the speed of max, right? There it is. All right. So 0.7 is on board, right? Now go back to start here. Now that we have a token set and an open wallet set, now we want to kind of create a trade. Now, how do we do that? Well, we hit boost token. Okay. And now we're going to select which token. And remember, we put the token address in for Shogun. You can have multiples. Remember, you can have multiples. So I'm going to click on that. We're going to click on add swap. Now, what this is going to do is that I'm going to choose the wallet I'm going to trade on. Now, as a rule of thumb, you can trade multiple swaps with one wallet from different coins with the same wallet, but you don't want to do that here. You want in our system later to make a wallet for each one of the swaps you're going to be utilizing, so each one will get 3 or 4 what we call memory wallets with them, so we can trade to your chart. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in later videos. So let me click that. Now, one of our crowning achievements here is that we have a swap feature of timing intervals, right? 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Now, we don't want to go faster than 3 minutes because during this time, our bot uses an AI to look at the network to make sure that everything is good. It watches to make sure there's just no MEV. It has MEV protection, has all that stuff there. So it wants to protect the trade itself, right? So always choose either 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. In future versions, we will have an open selected, but no less than 3 minutes at that point. So you could choose like 4.5 minutes, that kind of thing. But we're going to choose 3 minutes right now. Now, it's asking me now to choose a buy-sell trade ratio. Now, what is a ratio? Well, simply enough, a ratio is the amount of buys are always first in this beginning part of it, to the amount of sells. So if I have, say, 2 buys, I could say I want to set those buys at, say, 0.1 sol, whatever it is that we set it to. And there's certain ratios for that as well. And then it happens. So if you say 2, it's going to do 2 buys. Now, remember, we set it for 3 minutes. So the first buy will happen in about 3 minutes, up to 3 minutes for the first one. Okay, so in that up to 3 minutes, it'll make a trade. So what kind of trade? A buy. That's right. So if it goes into the next one, another 3 minutes later, another buy will happen. Now, since we set it to 2 to 1, that means that the 1 is the sell. So another 3 minutes go by, and therefore it does a sell. Now, you set it all, and they're all the same denomination that happened during that process for a reason, because it's the ratio way that we're trading that creates that pattern of movement, whether up or down, depending on how you're using it, that makes it profitable in EAT itself. And we'll talk about that later in more advanced videos. So we're going to set ours to a 3 to 2. Now you have to use the little underscore. It's a little trick that we have in there to make sure that it's not a mistake, that you can't put in something weird. Keep it at the low ratio. Don't try to put 1,000 to 1,000 or 400 to 400. Just make it 3_2 or whatever you're going to do at that point. And then I'm going to hit enter. And now it's going to ask me 2 very distinct questions, 1-way or 2-way. Now, as a little secret, just to let you know, the 1-way direction is referred to the DCA, dollar cost average system. And what that means is that it's going to click, you're going to click on that, and you're going to choose a ratio to come in to the trade. Now, you can't choose 0 on either side of it. You have to have a number, right? And you're going to want to DCA in or out. Now, how do you DCA in? Well, you use more on the buy side than on the sell side. So if you want to DCA in several $100s or several thousand, you do say 3 to say 2. You always have it that the sells are less than the buys. Remember that. If you wanted to do a DCA out, you do the buys less than the sells. Make sense? Good. Now, on the 2-way, what this means is that the system is now trading. If I choose 2 to 1, it's going to choose that 2 to 1 trade. Now remember, if the buys are 1,000 coins a piece and I sell 1,000, that means that I have 1,000 left over in my bag. Okay? So as it goes through a cycle, which is what? 2 to 1 is 3 trades. That's about 9 minutes if you choose the 3-minute trade. What happens then is that it keeps going until it runs out of the availability to make that trade with the SOL. If the SOL runs out. And then what will happen is that it will reverse and now do a 1 sell or 1 buy to 2 sells. So it'll take the 2 to 1 and flip it. Okay. and it'll do that until it sells off the bag of your coins in that point. So only put in here what you want to have go up and down. You're not going to put all your life savings in unless you're DCAing out. Okay, so I'm going to choose two-way. Now, here is a very difficult decision to make. How much do you do? I'm going to put $1,000 in there, Max. Well, if you don't have $1,000 in there, don't trade that level, right? Plus, you want to start off small and trade to what your level of intent is, okay? So since we put in 0.7, I'm going to give you a rule of thumb here, but it doesn't mean you need to follow it, but I'm going to give you a big suggestion. Follow the 10% rule. Only trade 10% of your transactions to what you have in your wallet at this point. If it's 0.7, then what I'm going to do is do 0.07. Super, super simple. Okay. Final and not the most important question, but a question nonetheless, is how do you want to create your priority? If I'm a low fee amount, I'm going to choose a small priority because I don't want the bot to feel like it's pressured to force something in there that if there is some slippage or what have you, it's not going to, if it's looking at a lot of slippage, it may not make the trade. Right? So there's a possibility that every 3 minutes, not every single thing is going to happen and trade at that level, especially if it feels like there's a lot of pressure to the system. So, but I'm going to choose small because I have a small fee in there. Now we're sort of set at that point. If I go back to hit start, how do I get back to that window? Is that I'm simply going to go to boost token, choose my select, and I'm going to see now that I have a swap that's been set up. Has it traded? I don't know yet. So what I'm going to do, excuse me, so I'm going to click on it. It's going to tell me some of the information about what it's been set up for. Now, I also know, okay, if I want to read this out to you, what this all is, super simple. It tells me the token, the quote address, tells me the pair address, which you really don't have to know what that is. It's just the liquidity pool, basically, okay? It tells me the ratio, buy 3 to 2, tells me the swap amount. It tells me direction of way, two-way, right? It gives me my fee per trade. Now, mine is 0.1, which is 0.1%. Yes, because I'm the owner and I'm practicing trading, or I'm practicing using the bot and I'm showing you in this video. So I'm keeping the fees down low. Of course I would. Don't be ridiculous. But for some of you, for almost all of you, it should be 0.5. If it's not 0.5%, now it's 0.5%, it's not 5%, it's 0.5%, then that's what you'll have. And it'll have the wallet that it's coming from. Okay? Now, how do I find out if it's traded? Well, remember what the amount of the trade was at 0.07. So I'm going to jump over to our chart. Go right here. And I want to wait for a 0.07 trade to happen. This may take a second. I may speed up the video to capture it. Yep, there it goes. Right there. 8 seconds ago, 0.07 of a trade happened, which is about $11. Okay. Now you can see here that it has a video. It has a maker, which is the last 6 or 7. It's the last 5, I think, of the wallet that was there. But it's not. It's not the same thing. This wallet is different. This is referred to as a memory wallet. What our system does is that it takes a little bit of the fee of the amount that you're going to be trading with, and it sends it to 4 wallets that are out there. So you should have 4 different wallets that are trading for your systems of that 0.07. But the wallet that's here is your funding wallet. Okay, that's from here. So it protects it from this system. So it doesn't put this out there to the world. What it uses is those 4 bots that'll be out there, 4 wallets that'll be there using the system. Okay, so now that you see that, what this thing is going to do after a period of time is that it's going to begin to trade in that ratio. So there'll be 3 buys and then 2 sells. Now, these ones that are happening here, as you see, this is about 10 hours ago. I stopped the bot early this morning because I wanted to, excuse me. I stopped the bot earlier this morning because I wanted to show you the video here of this stuff. But you see that we had a 3 to 2 system happening here. But there's some cross hatching happening because there's 3 different swaps that are happening at this level 2 on this side. So it doesn't look like that here. It looks like there's a whole bunch of sells and other things happening. But in videos to come, I'm going to show you some pretty cool ways to decorate this to where it will move it around the chart where you need it to go. Okay? Now, let's quickly jump back over and talk about how do I stop it and do all that stuff. So I've already pulled it up here, and I can just hit stop. And when I hit stop, it's going to take a second, and then it's going to pop back in, and it'll say active right? Or activate, it's supposed to say. Sorry, I found a typo right here on the show right now, so it's all good. All right, and then if I want to delete it, I would just hit delete. I'm going to keep mine here, but if I just hit delete and then hit start again, it should push it out there, and you'll see that. In fact, let me show you that process again. We're going to come in into boost token. We're going to find the boost there. We're going to find the active one there. There it is, and I'm going to hit delete. Okay. Now, if I hit start and I go to start there again, and I go back to boost token, I click to here. You see how it's gone, right? Because the delete sometimes will take a time out a little bit, but we have that for a particular reason. Okay. Now, how do I get rid of it? How do I get my money out? All that kind of stuff. There is, if I click on wallet, I'm going to get here. I'm going to click on this, on that wallet area. It's going to bring me to here. I'm going to click on withdraw funds. Now, as you see, it's going to say, it's going to give you a warning. If you intend to empty your wallet, make sure you remove all the other tokens before withdrawing the SOL. And that's sound advice because it takes SOL to move any of the stuff in there. So save SOL to last. So you click on Shogun, but you have to make sure that you have a wallet attached. Okay, so we're going to show you in other videos on how to attach that system there. But it's very simple. When you first come there, it's going to have a wallet address, a place that you go grab a wallet address from your Phantom and take it over there and make sure that you use one that you have the keys to. Okay, always be careful on what address you put in there because it's going to do it for all the wallets of anything that you hit withdraw. It's going to go back to the same one. Okay, I think that's about it. There is support. There's a lot of other things that are involved that you'll be able to utilize in your world of AnvilBot and this market volume maker system. There are a lot more videos that'll be coming, that'll be down below on the swaps, on cross hatching, on the affiliate program. Again, the affiliate program is really huge. You want to come down here and get your affiliate address. Make sure you put your affiliate wallet in. We'll have a whole segment of becoming an affiliate that you'll see down there, which is really cool. I hope that you've gotten something from this. I know this is a little bit long-winded, but we really needed you to get this intro down and understand what this is all about. Okay, I'm Trader Max. We'll see you next time, and as always, trade well.